Fallen angels in the Euphrates. Is the prophecy being fulfilled? The Euphrates River is drying up, and the situation has caught the attention of Iraqi authorities and people around the world. We're talking about one of the most important rivers in human history, about 2,700 kilometers long, essential for supplying water, irrigating farmland, and generating electricity for millions. This ongoing drought is now threatening 3 hydroelectric plants, entire crops, and the basic water needs of the population. But while the scientific explanation points to climate-related factors, many are linking this event to ancient biblical prophecies. One of the most popular theories circulating today claims that fallen angels are imprisoned under the Euphrates and that the river's receding waters are setting them free. This idea gained traction when archaeologists shared a video reportedly recorded in the riverbed, where they claimed to hear disturbing sound cries of agony, dragging chains, and eerie echoes. These voices have been interpreted by some as the groans of imprisoned spirits or demons being released as the river dries. But where does this belief originate? Not from the traditional Bible. This theory comes from the Book of Enoch, a non-canonical text attributed to a group called the Essenes, who developed their own religious doctrine by adapting and modifying parts of the scriptures. Though historically interesting, the Book of Enoch was never considered part of the official biblical canon by Jews or Christians. Furthermore, audio experts who examined the video confirmed that the sounds were manipulated. In fact, one of the background tracks used is a known sound clip titled Zombie Walk, often used to create spooky atmospheres in horror content. In short, the video is fake, and the sounds were fabricated. So, what does the Bible actually say about the Euphrates? In Genesis, it is one of the rivers flowing out of the Garden of Eden. God lists it alongside the Tigris and 2 other rivers, suggesting its importance from the very beginning of creation. Later, in Genesis 15, God tells Abraham that the promised land would extend from the river of Egypt to the Great River. The Euphrates, meaning the land promised to the people of Israel, was much larger than modern-day Israel. The Euphrates also appears in Jeremiah 52:51, where the prophet foretells the destruction of Babylon, describing the river drying up as a form of divine judgment. The text reads, "A drought on her waters, they will dry up, for it is a land of idols, idols that will go mad with terror." Many interpret the current state of the Euphrates as a fulfillment of this prophecy, but it's crucial to understand context. Jeremiah was speaking about ancient Babylon and neighboring nations that oppressed Israel, practiced idolatry, and turned against God. His message was for a specific time and people, not necessarily a prediction about modern Iraq, whose population today is largely monotheistic and no longer follows those ancient idolatrous practices. The Bible shows a clear pattern. Nations that misuse their blessings, especially land and water, face judgment. Just like Egypt, which saw the Nile turn to blood during the plagues, or Sodom and Gomorrah, once lush and fertile, but destroyed due to sin and injustice. Those biblical events emphasize that abundance can become desolation when moral corruption takes root. But we must not confuse symbolic prophecy with current environmental reality. The Euphrates is drying due to a combination of reduced rainfall, poor resource management, upstream dams, and broader climate change. That's what scientists, meteorologists, and hydrologists have been warning about for years. It's a man-made crisis, not a supernatural one. Still, conspiracy theories spread. Some say lost treasures will be revealed when the river dries, sparking wars. Others insist it will release ancient beings or even signal the end of times. These are myths based on texts like the Book of Enoch or passages from Revelation interpreted out of context. The idea of fallen angels being bound under the Euphrates comes more from fantasy than theology. The Bible mentions the devil and demons, but not as prisoners beneath specific rivers. The symbolic language of Revelation, for instance, often refers to spiritual truths, not literal geographical events. Instead of promoting fear or sensationalism, we need to focus on what the Bible really teaches: human responsibility, justice, stewardship, and faithfulness. The drying of the Euphrates is a wake-up call, not to prepare for demonic invasion, but to take action against climate destruction. Let's stop spreading fear over edited videos and false teachings. Let's use this moment to reflect, repent, and restore what we can of God's creation. That's what biblical prophecy ultimately calls us to do, not to speculate on myths, but to act justly, love mercy, and walk humbly with our God. If you felt connected to this inspiring story, don't forget to share this video with someone who needs to learn about the Bible. Turn on the notification bell subscribe to the channel, and leave a like. We'll see you in the next video with more inspiring stories like this one.